Hi, everybody. Tuning in today. We are now in part 2 of our AMP series, a series designed to amplify the voices of Indigenous artists and creatives. We have 5 events booked right now, with maybe more to come. Today, we will be having our interview hosted by Burva, and our guest today is Raven Sutherland. So I'm going to flip it over to Burva.
All right, so I'm just going to start off with an introduction. Raven Sutherland is an Indigenous creative and recent grad from the Advertising and Marketing Communications program at Conestoga College. Raven found her love for business in high school and in college found her love for design. Raven is pursuing her passion for digital art / illustration and shares her work on her Instagram. Raven wants to design work that promotes inclusivity, evokes emotion, and empowers others. We are so happy to have Raven here at Halton Youth Initiative to elevate young voices and be a role model to the youth, as well as raise awareness about Indigenous communities. I'm going to pass it over to Lily to do the speech for Indigenous voices.
Are you talking about the land acknowledgement?
Yep.
Okay, perfect. So thank you for that great introduction of Raven. And I think it's important for us to reflect too on the land that we work, volunteer, and play on. Currently, I am in Milton, which would be the territory of the Attawandarock, the Haudenosaunee, and I also have lived in Kitchener, and I think that's where Raven's tuning in from today, right? So that would be the Haldimand Tract, which is 10 kilometers on either side of the Grand River, and that would cover the Haudenosaunee, the Neutrals, and the Anishinaabe. But more than that, too, is we want to remember that a land acknowledgement is just the first step. Really, a great way to acknowledge the land is to protect it. So I encourage all the people who are tuning in today and are in this space with us to think about how can you take better care of the planet that we are on, whether it's picking up trash that you might see at the side of the road, like some folks have been doing with me on Thursdays, or just finding ways to be more conservative with how you use your water and where you buy your food from. So that's kind of one of my thoughts for today. And it kind of came off of this whole season of harvest and giving gratitude. So just think about those things, folks, as we acknowledge and appreciate our land.
All right, so I think we can get started on the questions now. So it's really nice to meet you, Raven. I'm just going to start off by asking you about your family. So tell me about your family, if you have any siblings. Yeah, let's just start off with family.
Yeah, sure. So, obviously I have a family.
Of course, yeah.
I live with my mom and my older sister. I have an older sister named Autumn, and she has 2 little cute, adorable children, Willow and Oakland, which I give them really funny nicknames. I call them, I call them Willow and Okie Dokie.
Oh, so cute.
That's adorable. Yeah, that's my immediate family. It's very small. It's just the few of us.
Awesome. So how has your family shaped your interest in art and design?
I think my mom has always been like a really artsy type of person. She loves interior decorating and like interior design. So growing up, she was always like painting all the walls and like buying new furniture that she probably didn't really need and like rearranging it. And she just, I don't know, just always hung Indigenous art on the walls, and that always inspired me. My mom just always had like a lot of art around the house, and that always inspired me, and she always did a bunch of like crafts with us, and just, yeah, that's how they got me into it, inspired me.
Awesome. So you're very open on powwow women's jingle dress dancing on your Instagram page. Where did you learn to jingle dress dance?
I actually taught myself. So growing up in the city, I didn't, traditionally you're supposed to have like a mentor, but since I grew up in the city and I didn't really grow up around my culture, I actually learned how to dance from YouTube videos.
Wow.
So I would just watch like a bunch of YouTube videos. And,
You're
like,
very good. I saw one of your dancing videos. You're really good.
thank you, okay, you're so nice. That means so much to me. But yeah, so I would just like copy the moves on that were on the YouTube videos, and now of course they have like powwow intro dancing and stuff on YouTube, but I never had that when I first started dancing. But I think it's good that they have that now for younger ones. But I did have like a couple people like kind of mentor me when I was younger, but not like someone who like sat down and taught you. It was I self-taught.
So has your sister or your mother at all, are they also familiar with the dance, or did they also grow up in the city?
No, so my mom is a 60 scoop survivor, so she was placed in a Caucasian family, like taken away
Mhm.
from her native
Yeah,
family. She was lucky to get into a really good family though.
good family. Yeah.
Um, so we all kind of learn together. My mom, she didn't grow up
Awesome.
in culture, so my mom dances women's traditional. She doesn't really dance anymore because she's a little older, but she did dance women's traditional, and my sister switches between women's fancy shawl and women's jingle, and we all learned that on our own. Like no one taught us how to do it. So
Could you give me some insight on women's shawl?
yeah, so women's fancy shawl is a butterfly dance. So it's supposed to represent when like a butterfly is coming out of a cocoon, which is like the huge like long shawls that they have with all the different colors on it. And when they spin around, it's supposed to look like a butterfly. So
Okay, that's super cool. So how is it important for young Native American children to be aware of cultural traditions like jingle dress dancing and fancy shawl dancing?
I think it's important for all Indigenous children, all Indigenous youth to learn about not just powwow dancing, but I think like ceremonial ways and just traditional ways of Indigenous people, because so much was taken from us as
Mhm.
Indigenous people, you know, with residential schools and just colonization in the 60s scoop. So I think Indigenous youth and Indigenous people are doing a really good job right now of reclaiming Indigenous everything. Really, you know, we're not just surviving, we're thriving.
Thriving, yes.
Thriving. So I think it's very, very important. And I think a lot of Indigenous people are taking the right steps to, thank you, Lily, for clapping. I think a lot of Indigenous people are taking the right steps to helping Indigenous youth reclaim that. And there's a lot of programs now. There's a lot of like videos now. There's a lot of like cultural camps now. And I think it's really important. It's something that's really deep and dear to my heart.
Okay. So, are there any other types of dances or any other traditions performed in your family that is still present in your family?
Um, I mean, obviously, well, not anymore really because of COVID, but we always went
Yeah.
to powwows together like every summer. That's like a really big thing, go through the powwow trail. But of course, the things my mom has taught me, like, you know, smudging every day and putting tobacco down, just like praying, giving thanks. I used to go to like round dances and like cultural events, but that's obviously postponed now because of
Yeah.
as well. Everything's just like postponed,
I
like
know.
pushed
Everything
to like
is
2022 basically.
okay. So, looking back on your teen years, did you ever think that you would end up working in digital art? If
Um,
not, what did you want to be doing back then?
that's it. These are good questions. Really good question. I didn't think I would be doing digital art necessarily when I was in high school. I feel like in high school I wasn't that confident as like most youth are at that age. I didn't really know what I wanted to do. I was really confused like what path I should go on. I really didn't even want to go to college if I'm being honest. But my mom was the one that really like pushed me to go.
Pushed you for that step,
Um,
yeah.
so I didn't think I would be working in it right now, but in high school, I always knew that I wanted to do something business oriented. Like, I didn't know if that was like entrepreneurship or like business administration or something like that, but definitely something like in the businessy world. And I think that the whole art like inspiration train kind of came for me after when I graduated college. So yeah.
Awesome. All right. So, who inspires your digital art?
Good. I like these questions. A lot of people inspire me, to be honest. Chief Ladybird on Instagram inspires me. I don't know if any of you guys know who she is. Chief Ladybird inspires me. Just like, I feel like nature in general just inspires me. I'm just really thankful to just be able to like walk in nature every day. I have like a forest right behind my house. That inspires me. I'm trying to get the exact names because I don't want to like butcher their names.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Morningstar Designs on Instagram. She's really, really good. I love her art. I love how simple it is.
Yes. She's working with the city of Kitchener now to do all the murals, and she's indigenizing some of the spaces.
I saw that. I was like, I actually didn't know she lived in Kitchener, and I was like, what? I was so confused. Luke Swanson. I like his work as well. But sometimes I just go on Pinterest. I see like random things, and that inspires me as well. So it's just like an accumulation of people. I do have like my favorite, I guess, artists, but I think, just the world inspires me. Pinterest inspires me.
Awesome.
Random people I have photos of inspire me to do.
Just going through your phone, finds a photo. So, how long does it take for you to finish an art piece?
It really depends on what I'm doing. If I was to do like a portrait of somebody, I would say that takes like 6 hours. I don't do it all like consecutively in like 6 hours. I do it like an hour a day, basically. So it usually takes me like a week to do, but I would say in total it takes like 6 hours to do a portrait. But if I'm doing florals, like there's one on my art page on my Instagram that took me like an hour to do. Just kind of, I get like random bursts of like energy where I'm like, I want to do it now, let's do it. And other times like I won't want to do it for like an entire week. It just depends, but it usually takes a week.
So is there any particular design you enjoy making?
I really like doing Ojibwe florals, like Anishinaabe florals. I think they're just really beautiful. I grew up around a lot of Anishinaabe, like Ojibwe, Mohawk people, so that's just kind of what I was used to seeing growing up. Even though I am Nehiyaw, like I am Plains Cree, I grew up around a lot of Ojibwe, Anishinaabe people, so I definitely like to draw florals, but I love to draw portraits as well. I love to draw people in their regalias and just see how different they all are and just how beautiful they all are in their beadwork. And I like going in there and doing the little details.
Yeah. Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Where I see myself? Well, hopefully, I definitely want to. Oh my gosh, that's a good question. I haven't really thought about that. Well, I definitely still want to work for an Indigenous startup company. That's always something I wanted to do in college, was help like start up Indigenous businesses and help them do like their branding and their social media. So I hope I'm doing something with that, and I hope that I get to do art more as a career or like as a job. I don't know, I just hope that like my work inspires people and inspires young Indigenous people to want to create something of their own, because art is just so embedded in Indigenous culture, like everywhere you go, really. So just, that's a good question. I'm not sure 100%, but I hope it's somewhere good.
Do you ever see yourself being like a CEO of your own company?
I'm maybe. I do want to start like my own little greeting card company. I've talked about this previously, kind of with Lily a little bit in another like panel that I did, but I want to start doing like greeting cards with Native humor on it, with like my little illustrations. So I hope to do that as like my little small
startup.
Yes, yeah, my little small startup business.
Yeah.
Do that. So maybe CEO, maybe not. I'm not sure. We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah.
I'm on the wait list for those cards. You just let me know, girl, and I'm buying them.
Lily was telling me about like, cause I mean, our team like I was just talking to her about this. We do product reviews, and so she was telling me that she sometimes buys face masks that you and your mom make.
Oh yeah, my
Yeah.
mom. Yeah. That's all credit to my mom, though. I'm not gonna lie. My mom like the stress. I'm just the communicator.
So do you enjoy working in the creative world?
I do enjoy it. I think it's very fun. It's very fast paced, so it keeps you on your toes all the time. Everything's always changing. I do enjoy it, but I also find it to be very harsh sometimes, just with like critiquing and having to like collaborate with a bunch of people, which can be good, it can be bad at the same time, but I do, in summary, really do like it. Of course, there's aspects of it that are more difficult than others, but I do 100% enjoy it, and I couldn't really see myself working in like a different like industry, to be
Field.
honest.
Yeah.
I just like I like it too much. I would never switch to like engineering or anything like that.
Wow, that's awesome. So how has working in art and design helped you with your everyday life, like small tasks or errands?
How does my art help me with small tasks? I think it helps me escape from small tasks. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
I'm not. That's a good question. I think it just, I don't know, it just keeps me inspired. It just keeps me always like observing, being mindful, looking at things differently. You know, I walk in like Waterloo, like downtown Waterloo, and like Kitchener, Waterloo. I forgot you guys aren't from here, so I was like, I was getting confused. I was like, I don't know if they know where that is, but there's like so much like art there now, and now there's like murals like on the ground and stuff, and it's just
Wow.
yeah, it's crazy here.
Yeah. So where did you learn art and design?
So I learned it mostly in college. I wasn't super artsy in high school, again, because I wasn't really like confident with it. I just critiqued myself way too much in high school. But my first year of college, I took design foundations at Conestoga, and that was like a full-on art program, which I was not prepared for. Like everyone who is like close to me knows that I was just not prepared for that. And that's where I really learned like all of the techniques and everything, because we did like every type of art you can imagine. We did digital art, drawing, like the figure drawings where people like stand in front of you. I forget what that's called. We did abstract art. We did like clay, like everything you can imagine we did it in that. So that's really where I learned it. But I more got into digital art when I went into advertising and marketing communications. That's when, because that's more digital than anything, because it's advertising. So that's where I learned more of those type of skills. Yeah.
Okay. So does being Indigenous have any influence in your art?
Definitely. I think it's a huge influence on my art. I like to indigenize everything that I can, really. So, you know, I had a lot of people in college doing like digital art or doing portraits, and I always was like, oh, I wish I could do that. Like, I want to do that so bad, but I want to like do it for like Native people, or do it like more themed for like indigenizing it, you know what I mean? I was like, I want to do that. And then this summer, I don't know where it came from, but I just got like the confidence to like just start it, and I bought like this iPad and with a pencil and everything like that. I forget what the original question was. I hope I answered. Did I answer the question?
You did.
Okay. I was like, I don't know if I answered the question or not.
even your resume too, right? If you want to describe how your resume looks.
Oh yes. My resume, that was actually a class also that I did in college. But yeah, I wanted to, for being in like a creative industry, your resume, it really has to like set you apart from other people. So with my I'm really into the color purple. I don't know if anyone notices that on like any of my social media or like my creative page or anything like that.
I saw themed a little bit.
Yeah, I like love the color. You can probably tell
purple
too. They're purple. So basically I have like a purple stripe down the side, and with like these floral designs like on the side, and then like at the bottom of the one thing with this cute like thick font. But yeah, when I handed that in, my teachers were like, that's so Raven, like that's so you, oh my god,
That's so
that's so
awesome.
that's so Raven. Yeah.
What do you like doing in your spare time?
Art. I mean, like besides art, I like to take walks in the forest with my mom. That's kind of like what we do after dinner. I live like a very simple life, to be honest. I don't do anything like extravagant anymore, so I just like to spend time with my family, and I like to watch movies with my family. Right now we're packing because we're moving. As you can see, the U-Haul. I had that in the back in the beginning, and I had to move it. It's like that's weird. But yeah, just spending time with my family, drawing art when I can. I work part-time now, so I do that.
Awesome. Do you enjoy working?
Yeah, I do enjoy it. To be honest, I think it's kind of, I don't know. I feel like being in the real world, I feel like a real adult now because
Independent.
so like, Lily's so proud of me. She's like, oh, I'm adulting now, and I just think it's crazy. I kind of like, I'm like, oh, it's schoolwork, but then I'm like, no, I'm getting paid for it, so it has to be like 20 times better than it was in school. I do like it, but.
Do you enjoy hearing stories about your ancestors and your culture? And do you mind sharing a story with us if you have one?
I do enjoy learning and hearing stories about my Indigenous culture. I don't really want to say like a specific story because I don't really feel like I would be able to tell it properly, and I don't want to like do any disrespect or nothing to the stories. Of course, I love learning about it. I love hearing it. A lot of Indigenous like traditions and teachings are verbal. That's like, it's not a written language a lot of the time. So, yeah.
Okay. What advice would you give to the high school or post-secondary schools on how to support Indigenous better?
Oh, I think
Lily wrote this one. I can't take all the credit.
I was like, that's an intricate question. What post-secondary, wait, sorry, can you read the question again?
What advice would you give to the high school or post-secondary schools on how to support Indigenous people better?
I think just for high school, I would definitely say creating a more like safe space for Indigenous students, because I remember when I was in high school, I was really like the only someone who like self-identified as Indigenous really at my school, and there was like nothing to help me out. I also think it's important for schools not to pinpoint Indigenous students as teachers of everything Indigenous. That's like really important to me, because I remember teachers would just like expect me to know everything, and especially because my mom is like a 60 scoop survivor, like I didn't know anything really, so I was like, I can't tell you. But just that pressure like put on Indigenous students, I just think it makes a lot of them uncomfortable. So I would say creating like safer spaces, maybe just investing more in teaching other students about Indigenous studies or just the history, really. Like I know in Kitchener-Huron Heights they used to do like a powwow. I think like every school should do that. I think it just educates a lot about the traditional culture, but I also think they should have speakers come in, like residential school speakers, because I didn't learn anything at all about residential schools in my high school, really. So I think that would be an important aspect. But for college, they do have safe spaces for Indigenous people, but I think just maybe having more Indigenous representation at the schools, because I know for Conestoga, like they didn't really have Indigenous representation, like not that really that I saw, to be honest. Like I wasn't like, oh, like that's so cool, like all these Native kids go there. So I think just having more representation, more like events for Indigenous students that are more like prominent. And I think too, when like a student reports any type of racism or like misconduct, because there's some professors out there that will say some pretty crazy things, I think maybe they should just take those reports more seriously. personal experience. So yeah, that's how I would say. But I do
I
think
really,
it's getting better. I do think it's getting better. Like, I definitely don't think it's as bad as it was like when my mom was
right,
in
right.
college or anything. But I just think, you always should be like evolving, especially as an institution. So
I think I really agree with you, like especially with high schools. Like with my elementary school, I learned actually surprisingly a lot. We actually had like residential school survivors come in and talk to us, and me and my classmates learned Ojibwe, and I like got it, but we learned a bit of Ojibwe for like 2 years, and then going into high school, like there's nothing at least at my high school. I
yeah.
go arts high school, so there's like literally nothing on Indigenous schools, or like I feel like it should be more embedded, I think, in the curriculum, but in elementary school I learned a lot, and then walking to high school I feel like it should have been the other way around, like even
Right.
more education.
Yeah, I
um,
agree. I feel like if you start it young, you need to like keep it in the system.
exactly. Yeah, yeah. Exactly. So what kind of advice do you have for other young creatives?
I think advice I would give is practice, practice, practice. I really do believe like practice makes perfect, because I look at some of the work I did like my first year of college or even like last year, and I don't like, I'm just like, what was I doing back then? But it's really just, I just practiced more and I just got like better at it. And I think don't give up so easily, like my friends, I don't mind my friends critiquing me on like my work or anything like that. I actually think it's like good to have like good criticism, but they're like, Raven, sometimes you will give up on things like too easily. Like Photoshop, like I'm really bad at Photoshop. I still think I'm bad at Photoshop, but my friends like, Raven, you've never really used it, so you can't say that you're bad at it. And I'm like, you know what? She's true. Like, don't be so hard on yourself. You're young, you're going to get way better. You're evolving. I wouldn't give up on it if you think that it's something that you're really, really, really interested in. And I would also say don't be afraid to take critiques from other people. I know a lot of other people and like creatives have trouble with this, but if you're in a creative field, it's just normal for like your boss or like another artist to critique it and be like, I don't like this, you have to fix it right away, like rearrange this. And you just have to like take it in stride and just know that it's a part of the the industry, the job. Yeah. So in summary, I'm just gonna say in summary, because I know I ramble a lot. I'm like a storyteller, like tell stories.
I
Don't
love it.
give up. Practice makes perfect. Learn to take critiques in stride, and just continue doing it if you're passionate about it. Don't give up on it. It sounds kind of sappy, but it's true.
Truth, right? So can you tell us more about the Amino collective?
Yes. So I just started working for the Amino collective last in September, like the middle of September. I started working for them, and it is a grassroots company based out of Toronto. I'm just gonna read their little like story or bio because I don't want to mess it up myself. But it says, so the Amino Collective is an independent grassroots group of young Indigenous people working together to solve health inequalities that disproportionately affect our community. Using technology and media, our goal is to make traditional knowledge and health resources accessible for people living in Toronto. So that's pretty cool. They're also working on developing an app, which I also think is really cool. But yeah, I work as their social media communications coordinator. It's pretty fun. I've been making up like new mini like campaigns and segments like Amino Talks and like Meet the Team. And we're going to be having some opportunities for like Indigenous youth to write blogs for us about like health topics, which I think is pretty cool as well.
So cool.
Yeah, so that's a little bit about them.
Awesome. I think that's all the questions we have for you. That was super fun.
And then I guess, Raven, I'm just wondering if you gave any thought to kind of the engaging portion. Do you want to show us like an illustration trick? Do you want to show that video clip that you submitted to OKN?
Okay, Yeah, I can show you like something I'm working on right now.
Cool.
I don't know if you guys are gonna be able to see it that well because
is it on paper or is it on your computer screen? Because I can give you sharing abilities.
It's on my iPad. I'm trying to think. I could show you. I could like send it to myself really quickly. Hold on. I would show that video, but I don't know how to find it, Lily. Do you know?
Oh, I can show it. I can pull it up.
Oh, okay. Because I was like, I don't know like where it is on YouTube or like what's it called on YouTube.
Yeah, no problem. I'll take it's right here. I literally just typed in OKN Jingle Dress and it's the first thing that pops up. Okay.
Beautiful.
I got that Googling skills. Okay, so I'm just going, while Raven sends herself some of that illustration stuff, we're going to just take a minute to watch a video clip. This clip was submitted to our Kids Network, which is, of course, where I work. They did a blog on jingle dancing, and the blog itself is titled Jingle Dress Dance, Self-Expression and Healing. It has an introduction by Angela Belgard, who is the Indigenous lead at our Kids Network, and Raven then wrote quite a bit about the regalia, powwow, and all of this was for National Indigenous History Month back in June. So if you guys just bear with me, I will play that video now.
Oh my god, it looks so blurry.
Yeah, it is a little blurry. All right, so that was wonderful. Does anyone have questions for Raven about the jingle dress dancing?
If you want to see the full video, it's on my Instagram.
Yeah, and it's probably a lot clearer to watch too.
Yeah.
Sorry about that, folks. I don't know if it's my computer or whatnot, but I guess one of the questions I've had is, do you add to the regalia as time goes on, or how does it evolve, if there is an evolution?
There definitely is an evolution. If you look at my like beadwork or like my outfit from when I was like 14, it looks way more different, but it definitely takes like years to finish everything. Like I would say honestly this year I finished everything. Like I feel like I have everything where I don't like feel like I need to make more. So one of like the bigger things for me was I really wanted like moccasins, like fully like beaded moccasins, because I don't have those. And then my boyfriend's mom, like I commissioned her to make some for me, and they're like so pretty. I cannot. And they're, oh my god, I just love it so much. But it does, you do add and collect to it. My mom likes to bead and like switch things up, so she'll be like, I want to make a whole new collection for you, or you'll find like a new belt at like a powwow or something, and you're like, oh, I want this one instead of this one, this one's really pretty. Or people like gift items to you as well. But it definitely does take years. I don't think I've met anyone that just has like a full outfit and like beadwork just ready to go for them like their first time dancing. I mean, maybe they do. I've never met anyone like that, but it takes a long time.
Yeah, because you had more of a maroon regalia back in the day, right? It was more maroon, and then it's like now it's your classic purple.
Purple and rainbow. Yeah. I don't know why I used that color before. It was like so dark for me, I feel like, but yeah. I got it now. I got purple. I got multiple shades of purple going on. So it's just, that's my brand.
And so so Farah had said in the chat too, she said, do you create the dance outfit yourself or was it given to you? She said the answer, it was kind of answered already, but so you and your mom work on it together?
Yeah, so like traditionally you do make it yourself or your like family, you like make it together. But nowadays, like not everyone knows how to sew and not everyone knows how to bead. So like buying your outfit or beadwork or like trading it is not abnormal anymore. Like a lot of people do it. So it can be like gifted to you. Like you can make it, you can buy, it can be gifted to you. It's really just anything.
Has part of your regalia been gifted to you? Is there a certain component that you received as a gift?
Yeah, my feather fan that I just illustrated on my Instagram, Nehiyaw Creative. That was gifted to me for my high school, I think it was my high school graduation. My mom got me that, or she had someone like commissioned to make it for me, and that was a gift to me, which meant a lot to me because it's made by Patrick Scott, which is like a legendary, at least in my eyes, like fan maker, feather worker. I don't know exactly what their titles are, but that was gifted to me. What else was gifted to me from it? I feel like just like little things, like someone could have like gifted the beads that are like on the beadwork. Like I don't remember like exactly, but definitely I think like the fan is like the biggest one that was like gifted to me by my mom, and I love it. I want to like hang it. A lot of people like hang it on walls like upside down, but I'm scared to do that because I don't want it to like fall, and I'm just like I love her too much to ever damage her. So
yeah, we got to find something that can maybe hold it so the fan is facing up,
right,
that you could like put the stick in, put the handle into a holder,
but I don't know if I'd risk it still.
right?
Maybe. I'm not sure.
Oh, did you want to show us an illustration? Did you send
Okay.
Did you send something?
I sent it to my shelf. Hold on. Make sure I don't.
I love the illustration that you did with your sister and Willow. Like as soon as it came up in my feed, I'm like, I bet that's Willow and Autumn. And then sure enough,
My sister was like, thanks for fixing my eyebrows. Oh my god. Okay, but this is actually, wait, oops. Can you see it? Okay. This is one that I'm actually working on currently. This is like my first commissioned piece. So if the girl who I'm doing this piece for is watching, hey. But I'm not done this one yet, but this is just what I have been working on lately. So how it usually works is they send me a photo of themselves or like anything that they want me to illustrate specifically, and then I throw it into I feel like I never talked about that. I use Procreate for this type of stuff, but I do use like Illustrator and InDesign from Adobe Creative Cloud. But for portraits, I use Procreate, which I'm very new to as well. And how it starts, I would show you the original, but I don't know if she wants me to like show that, so I won't show that. But how it usually starts is I start by drawing, or how I was taught in college was by drawing the biggest shapes first. And so once you get like the basic shapes down, then you start adding in like you do like more of the intricate stuff, like the like beadwork right here, like that would be what I did next. And then you start doing like the shading with like the little rolls in the shirt, and then it just starts to build from there. And I always do the background last because I don't really know what to do with it. Like I always want to put like flowers or like something crazy. Like there's an effect in Procreate where you can make it look like marble, which I think is so cool, but I also feel like it's kind of too overpowering for a lot of stuff that I do. So I always leave the background to last because I struggle with what to do a lot. But yeah, so that's just something that I've been working on right now. I'm having fun with it. I work on it until wee hours of the nighttime. And yeah, so this one's cute. I like it. She said her favorite color is orange, so I'm probably gonna do like the background, some type of orange. I'm not sure, but yeah. So
How long did this one take you? I know you're not done yet, but like so far.
Like I don't know. It's hard to say because I do it like randomly, like to count. I would probably say like this is like 4 hours so far, but the last 2 would be just to like tweak it, like to add all of the, because I don't know, like if I once I do the base shapes, like I figure out like where I want to like put the shading, because sometimes with the pictures you have to like infer where things are. So I don't know if I'm gonna do like shading on like the jingles or not, like down here, if I'm just gonna like leave them like that. So I usually do like a row, and if I like it then I keep it, if I don't I delete it. But yeah, just hit my hand off my desk so hard. But yeah, probably like the last 2 hours I'll just spend tweaking it, doing the final. I'm trying to do like right now the shading on the arm part. Yeah.
We've got a question in the chat from Nayla. She said, super pretty, I love it. Have you, or when you face challenges working with tech, Procreate, Adobe, how do you solve them? And what are some of the main challenges with working with those tools?
Do you mean like in terms of it like crashing on me, or like can I have like a specific example of like issues? I haven't really had issues with Adobe or Procreate. I know that some people say if your file is too big on Procreate, it can like crash and it won't like save anything that you did. So a lot of people like say to like save it like after you do something. That hasn't happened to me yet, like thank God, but I've heard that happen sometimes. Little like things that annoy me in Procreate is like it's pressure sensitive, so like it knows when your hand is laying on the iPad, but sometimes you'll find like a random streak on the screen that you did, but you don't know what layer it's on to like delete it. I don't know if that's just like a pet peeve of mine. I don't know if that's like other people think like that who use Procreate, but that annoys me with Adobe, Illustrator. Like, I've honestly had Illustrator crash on me a couple times in college. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like Adobe crashes a lot. When I was doing a portrait in college, it crashed on me. Which I actually like cried, I'm not even gonna lie, because I spent like so long on it and I was just like, what has happened to me? Just crying.
I would totally cry too, so.
Thank you. Yeah, I was like, I don't think I'm overreacting. I feel like other people would have the same thing. But did I answer that question to the person who asked that? I hope I did. But I haven't faced like a lot of problems yet. Of course, there's like the random times where it crashes on you and stuff like that, but nothing. Procreate is pretty good, except they update it without telling you sometimes, and that annoys me because I don't like that. I don't like new updates a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, folks, if you have any other questions for Raven, now would be the time to throw that into the chat. I'd love to give you a second to quickly talk about your collaboration with A Tribe Called Beauty. If you wanted to take a minute to talk about that, it seems exciting.
How do I stop screen? Oh, did I stop? Oh, okay, yeah. I was like, how do I stop screen sharing? I forget. Yeah, so that's really exciting. So me and the girl from A Tribe Called Beauty, we're doing a collab to help promote my art page. Sorry, I feel like this ring light is like doing something weird on my glasses. And so to enter, if you go to my Instagram, you can see it, or A Tribe Called Beauty on Instagram. So you can win a pair of beaded earrings, which anyone can wear beaded earrings. You don't have to be Indigenous to wear them. Just make sure you get them from an Indigenous like artist or vendor. So you win a pair of beaded earrings made by my beautiful mom. They're super sparkly, super blingy. You win a Kokum scrunchie, which is super cute. And then you also win a Cheekbone Beauty lipstick. I forget like the exact color, but it's like a dark red. It's like really cute for fall and for Christmas or the holidays. And you also win a custom portrait or custom picture, whatever it is, made by me of up to 2 people. It's digital only. And all you have to do to enter it is you just like the picture, follow both of us, and comment someone, like tag your friend underneath to enter yourself into it. And it closes next Tuesday, October 20th at midnight. So that's really fun. I'm so excited about that. I'm so happy that she wanted to collab with me because I've been following her for so long. And then yeah, when we started talking and she brought that up, I was like, oh my god, I was like, I love that. I love her like lifestyle blog for Indigenous people like so much. So yeah, that's my little collab I'm doing. My first collab, you guys. Yeah, oh, Lily.
Yes.
But
amazing. It's so good to hear about all of these great things you've got on the go. I really appreciate you taking some time with us tonight. One last call for any other questions or comments, even if you just want to do any shout outs to Raven, what you liked about the interview or anything like that. Now's the time. And I'll let Burva kind of close us off. You did such a good job interviewing today too, Burva. Thank you.
Thank you. It was so much fun having you, Raven, talking with you. It was really, really fun. I can't wait to check out that giveaway or that little collab that you're doing. I feel really proud and I wish so much success in your life. And I am hoping that maybe one day I can, purchase one of your greeting cards, if you're ever CEO of a company.
Of course, yeah. Thanks for having me, you guys. Honestly, I'm so happy that I can have this platform to share with you all, and just, I don't know, I just love it. I just love like helping youth and like inspiring youth and talking about my art, and if it can inspire other people and other youth, it just means so much to me. So I just want to say thanks for having me on, and this was so fun and so exciting. The questions were awesome, and yes, you did a really, really good job interviewing, by the way.
And we got a couple of shout outs there in the chat too, Raven, if you've been following along with that.
Love all the pieces. Look at that right now on Instagram. And I love your energy. Thank you. Sometimes people say I have too much, but I get
don't
excited.
let them dull your shine.
I get excited easily. I'm like, yeah, your work is so cool. I'm definitely gonna check you out on Insta. Think, you're welcome. Oh my god, I love you guys. You're so sweet. But yeah.
All right. Well, thanks so much, everybody, for tuning in today for part 2 of the AMP series, a series designed to amplify the voices, talents, and messages of Indigenous artists and creatives. We hope you check us out with some of our other editions. Thanks again, Raven. You can check her out at, how do you pronounce, let's pronounce it properly. I don't want to take any liberties.
Yeah, so you say it, Nehiyaw Creative. I know it's spelled like Nehiyaw, but you say it Nehiyaw.
Nehiyaw Creative. Perfect. And Raven_Sutherland on Instagram.
That's me. Okay.
All right. Take care, everybody. Good night.
Bye.
Bye.